Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And yes, this is a bit of a weird one because it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, this is a bit like I said, this is a weird one because I've tried I've tried a couple of times to re-watch this episode of Doctor Who, but I can't bring myself to do it. I just literally can't. It's so bad that I can't watch it again to edit down for you guys. It's literally impossible. I just cannot stand it that much. Um, so, oh Jesus, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that I can't do it. I didn't think I would have this problem, but it's so bad. Uh, Once is enough, I think. I think I need to rethink how I'm going to be doing videos on the new Doctor Who from now on. Uh, but yeah, I literally can't bring myself to do it. I think that says a lot. Oh Jesus. Oh. But yeah, I mean it's crazy the stuff that they do in this one because I mean it's so woke, it's so racist, it's so sexist. I mean, the only ones who get killed in this episode are the straight white guys. And not only that, but they try and turn they try and turn Ruby Sunday because the doctor says that because they get introduced to a young woman who's a soldier and a priest. I'm not sure exactly what context it's being used in this one, but we've seen it before. So priests as soldiers. It's not something we haven't seen. We've seen it before in the past. Um, but yeah, it's absolutely insane that I can't watch it again. Not even to edit it. So I'm gonna have to do stuff. I'm gonna have to rethink how I'm gonna do these videos. I really am. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to finding out what Shooty Gatwa and Russell T Davies and everyone has to say about the feedback. I'm looking forward to seeing the overnight numbers tomorrow, as well as hopefully the 7 day ratings. Now you've got to bear in mind with the 7 day ratings, it should include everything. The 7 day ratings should include the BBC broadcast, iPlayer, hopefully, and it should also include Disney, which I've heard that the numbers for Disney are not that good. So yeah, we should get the global numbers, hopefully. Uh, if not today, then tomorrow. As soon as I find out as soon as they come out, I'm looking for them constantly to see if they're going to get released. But there's a theory going around that they probably won't release them until tomorrow because they're going to go by, they'll possibly go by this episode as well. So probably include everything in the main into one number, which is wrong. But we already know the broadcast numbers, so people who watched it when it was broadcast on BBC, which is has a 200,000 view drop between the two episodes. So it's like 2.6 million for episode one, Space Babies, and it was 2.4 for what was it? The Devil's Cord. Yeah, that's it. So it's a bit. That's a huge drop. If that's just the BBC broadcast numbers, right? So it's a big drop. Uh, but the stuff they come out with in this one, the fact that you know the people were ended up being stupid enough that it's their fault that they're fighting this war against these machines that are like planting mines everywhere. That when the Doctor steps on one, it's all of a sudden it could have the explosive power enough to take out a large part of the planet. So it's like a third of the planet, I think they said. I can't clarify that because I can't watch it again. Uh, but I mean, we're introduced to a little girl who's called Splice. Uh, hmm, Splice, huh? Interesting. Did anyone watch the film Splice when that came out years ago? Her dad John. He's the first person. He's the second person to get killed in the episode. We're introduced to Carson, who's the first person to get killed. They both just happen to be white and straight, by the way, from what I can tell. Monday, who I don't know if she's an Indian or something, but she's a person of color. And Kanto, who's a straight white guy, who also later on gets killed. So every single straight white person in this gets killed at some point. And and the fact that the Doctor suggests that Ruby, Sunday, and Monday should get married. I mean, that's proof now, on screen proof that people want everyone to turn gay. Everyone has to be turned gay, right? Everyone has to suddenly be a representative of the LGBTQ community because they're trying to turn the world. There's a lot of things to break down in this episode, but I can't because I can't watch it. I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's just the stuff that they come out with. So they've got these ambulances, these automated ambulance things that go around and they scan injured people in this on this battlefield, and as a result, if your injury is too severe and it'll take too long for you to recover, you end up getting killed and turned into this giant cylindrical dildo shaped thing. Uh, with an eyeball on it. So yeah, it's. So I keep touching my head because I just can't believe I can't watch it. So I don't know. I mean, what can I say other than it's just woke DEI garbage. It's poorly written. I think I've said this in my previous video as well. I'm pretty sure that Moffat had Russell T Davies over his shoulder whilst he was writing this. I know for a fact that Moffat can do better, right? We know he can do better because he has in the past, just like Russell has. But Russell's a showrunner, so he gets the final say. And obviously, Ncuti must have some input because they both represent their modern view on the Doctor. This franchise, Doctor Who is dead, guys. I mean, it's not going to survive this. It's not going to survive this at all. I wish it would, because all it would take is a regeneration and a new showrunner, right? That's pretty much all it'll take. But it's dead. It's dead. It's on its last legs at least. Season 2. They're filming. I think have they finished filming season 2 yet? I don't know. I mean, I can't remember. I know they were filming it because Millie Gibson is leaving before season 2. So, and Ncuti wanted to leave in this after the second season. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, this. I just can't believe that I can't bring myself to watch it again. One time is bad enough, I guess. But it's the fact that it ends up being that they did it all to themselves. They sent these machines to this planet to advertise their arrival, and then something happened, and there was an error in the programming, and it started killing people. And you can't, and you need to have you can't afford, no one can afford to pay for the treatments. So, but at the same time, treatment is done by triage, which means it's combat medical um, regulations or combat medical rules. So fine. Uh, but the fact that the ambulances they go up to someone and they say, right, casualty detected or injuries detected, and they fire out these harpoon things into their arms, and they scan, and they can just they tell who you are, what your name is, and everything. It goes along all that sort of crap. Um, at the same time, it's an interesting concept, but it's an extremely painful procedure to go through for medical treatment. I mean, you get these things shot into you, into your body, so that the ambulance can scan your system and your injuries, and then detect whether it's worth treatment or not. So, I mean, if you're not severely injured, you're fine. The ambulance will just let you, I presume, heal you and let you go. But there's a hint there to say that even if you did that, it wouldn't allow you to survive. It would just kill you outright. Um, what else? Yeah. So towards the end, when well, I didn't actually wait. So the doctor runs out because he hears a scream, and when he's out, he ends up stepping on a mine. Um, that's fine. But the fact that he's on this mine for basically every single second of the episode, that after their arrival, he runs, steps on the mine. That's it. And then there's like the last 5 minutes where he's talk, whereas nothing's happening. They're outstanding outside the TARDIS. But the outfit they chose to put Chuti in, or Chuti chose to wear for the episode, is like khaki trousers, a leather jacket, some sort of V-neck sweater or shirt or something underneath, um, which is very reminiscent in more of like a Doctor Who's not like a Doctor Who take on Indiana Jones without the hat. If that makes sense. The leather jacket, khaki trousers. Um, yeah, it's frustrating. All he was missing is a whip. But I mean, in this episode, he could have done with his sonic screwdriver, but that was destroyed in episode 2, fortunately, because it was terrible, terrible. But yeah, ah, seriously, I can't believe I can't watch that episode again. I'm never going to be watching this again. I'm just watching this for you guys. I mean, you guys are viewing all my Doctor Who content like crazy and commenting. And I'm glad to have the interaction with you guys, with you all, I should say. But we'll probably end up getting called bigots again, and racist, and homophobes, and everything like that. Everything they can call us under the sun. But as I've said before, it's not because Chuti's black. It's not because he's gay. It's not because Russell is gay. It's pure and simple. It's because the DEI is ridiculous in this show. The representation is outstandingly enormous, for something like this. Because I mean, yes, DEI has always existed in Doctor Who. That's yeah, but it's always been in sort of in the background. This is, and you could in some episodes they brought it to the foreground, so it was like part of the main thing. But then when now it's like that's all it is. It's everywhere. and and it's an attack on white people. It's an attack on white straight people. This episode, because like I said, the only people that die are straight white men. So if that's not essentially an attack on us straight white men, then I don't know what is. That is absolutely racist, and it is absolutely diabolically sexist. Um, but they're all about diversity, equality, and inclusivity, but they won't include a strong white male, which is an entire thing that we have. That's why people have problems with DEI. Um, it would have been fine to have some DEI. No one gives a shite about it. So it's just it's terrible. It's an absolutely terrible show made by terrible writers, a terrible showrunner. Because I mean, yes, it's credited that Muffet wrote it, but at the same time, Russell would have had to have approved the script. So I can just imagine how many times Russell said, "No, you have to. No, I want you to do this. I want you to do that, and this, and that, and this," and then you're just standing there going, "Oh, that's the entire script that has to be redone." But his name is still on it, so Russell's name is not on the script, on the writing credit. But Russell T Davies will have the final opinion and final say on what goes into the show because he is the showrunner. And he is racist against people of his own colour, as well as being sexist because we're straight. White men. I just love the way that they portray themselves as victims through all of this, but we're all the victims because we have to put up with watching this trash. It's absolutely insane the amount of stuff that we have to go through to say, look, it's a really bad show. Oh no, it's not a bad show. You're just a bigot. You're a racist. You're homophobe. It's like, really? You're a transphobe. Why am I these things? I am phobic, but I'm phobic against bad fucking writing and entertainment. Look at what's happened with Star Wars. Look at what's happened with Star Trek. Look what's happened with Marvel. The three largest franchises in modern day, and they're all catering to people that don't watch it. It's like all these people that are out here in the comment section and everything like that. They come out and they're saying all this stuff about we're racist, we're sexist, we're homophobic, we're transphobic, we're this, we're that. But they want the inclusivity. They want the representation, right? We want good entertainment. But you know what they want? They want to change what we watch. We want our entertainment, but they want to give us their entertainment, despite the fact, and this is probably a true fact, by the way. I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm assuming that this is a fact that they don't even bother watching it because they see it as not being made for them because they don't like it. They didn't like it before, so they never watched it. And if they never watched it then, they're not going to watch it now just because they've got their representation. But they are going to attack us for saying this show is shite. This is absolute DEI garbage. And it is complete woke, ridiculously woke. And I mean, can we not have a franchise or anything or a game that doesn't have this representation? Because this is not just going to be about Doctor Who. I know that now, but this is my opinion on all of the DEI across the board. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadow is coming. They dropped the trailer. I won't play it because there's no point. But one of the main characters is a woman. Fair enough. I'm not sure if she's an Asian woman or not because I haven't watched the trailer yet. I might watch the trailer and do a reaction at some point. But what my point is, that it's a 6 foot plus black guy in feudal Japan. That's medieval Japan, right? And you play as this character, and you, and they're attacking the Japanese because and the Asian gamers, because one of them actually said that what was it? He said uh, something about the black guy. Because originally, the original idea for Assassin's Creed Shadow was the fact that it was going to be a Japanese monk that would be trained by an assassin to become an important assassin later on, which is great. But the fact that they changed that to include a rather large black guy is ridiculous. It's not racist that they're speaking out about it. It's actually cultural appropriation, which means it's falsifying it. I mean, they're taking a game that would have been pretty damn good. I reckon Shadow, under its original idea, under a Japanese monk becoming an assassin, that would have been absolutely perfect. That would have been perfectly fine. That would have been like Shogun. Shogun was outstanding. But by replacing him with this black guy, it's literally DEI ticking boxes trash. They main issues with everything. I mean, they tried to do it with other players. They did it. They tried to do it with what was it? What was that game that came out? Well, it's going to happen with Tomb Raider, right? So there's supposed to be a live action Tomb Raider series coming, but who do they put in charge of it? Fleabag is basically in charge of it. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in charge of it, and she's terrible when it comes to doing this shit. She's going to destroy everything she touches, essentially. And it's just ridiculous that we have to put up with it because we can't do anything about it. But yeah, it's like they got no imagination, they got no originality. All they want is their own narrative put in. Now, it's not like we didn't have narrative shows for that community. We had the L Word. I like to think Orange is the New Black is part of that narrative. Yeah, I think that's right. Will and Grace was part of that narrative. So I mean, it's not like they haven't had their own representation before. So why do we have to put up with them throwing all this trash at us, and then have them call us names because we do it? I mean, we're not the one calling you names. You're the ones calling us names, and we're the ones that get the blame. It's the same with everything else. Like Star Wars was really bad, but that's because we straight white men went to watch it and ruined it. It's like, wait a minute, straight white men are the majority of your audience, and that's a statistical fact. Except they're not anymore because they don't want to watch your crap. So yeah, I hope you don't mind this video. It's kind of gone off topic. It was originally supposed to just be a Doctor Who video, but because I couldn't watch it, I decided to do something different. So yeah, it's funny how DEI it shows us as the villains when technically we're the victims, right? The majority are the victims, and it's getting to a point where I don't think we're going to stand for it for that much longer because we're going to end up putting the audience is going to end up boycotting everything. We're going to we see it happening with games. We're going to see it happening with TV shows and movies. until all this DEI trash gets stopped. Because all it does is separate the community. I mean, although DEI is all about inclusivity, they want to they actually want to separate. They actually want to separate the world. They want to segregate everyone. Right? That's their plan. Um, but as I've said before, I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care, what your sexuality is. I don't care if you want to identify as a mouse or an elephant. Jesus. What I care about is, what you put on the screen. And if you put this DEI shit all over the screen, you're going to lose an audience, and the ratings are going to go down the drain. But you're not going to accept the fact that it's terrible because a representative of your I'm going to call your culture, right? The culture that you want, made it. So because they're a representative of your culture, you want that you blame everyone else because you're turning yourselves into a victim when you're actually the attacker. You're attacking the rest of the world, right? The rest of the audience, essentially. But then, if we're not playing your games, if we're not watching your shows, if we're not watching your movies, I think that suggests something. Do better. Do your job. You're not meant to put this woke DEI trash message in everything. It's absolutely stupid to do so. And if you carry on doing it, there's going to be, I don't know what to describe it as. It's going to be a movement against it, if that makes sense. Because you're essentially in a movement, but we're the majority, so we could actually be part of a movement as well if we chose to. If we chose to stand up on our feet, get off our asses, stand up on our feet, and then march in the streets against DEI, against representation, we would demonstrate just how badly we could stop the entire world if we wanted to, just by going out and marching on the street, by doing what you guys like to do with your rainbow flags and everything, right? It's bad enough that you get an entire month. What do we get? Nothing. But you guys will say, well, you got the rest of the year. No, we haven't, because there is nothing. We don't have anything to represent us. You guys have Pride Week, and whatever month, but we get nothing because it's because the rest of the time it's all about you guys. It's not. It's not. If it was all about us the rest of the year, then we wouldn't get all this DEI trash on our screens and in our magazines and everything. It's absolutely ridiculous, that fact that you want to change our personalities, you want to change our way of life, but you don't realize that your way of life, your choice to live that way and blame everyone else, it's just, you're alienating yourself from the rest of the populations. I say populations because it's individual countries, so it makes sense. But I mean, you're marching in the streets against things that you don't understand. One of the things I don't understand is how LGBTQ plus whatever are marching in the street as pro-Palestinians, pro-Palestinian demonstrators, Palestinian demonstrators. Sorry, got a bit tongue-tied there. But you don't realise that if you lived in Palestine, they would kill you. Full stop. You wouldn't have lived the life you have if you lived in the country that you're showing support to. Right? Now, this is not supposed to be a political channel, but in the way it's going to end up being it. And I don't want that. I want to make videos about good entertainment. But if there's bad entertainment, I'll make videos about that as well. That's what I do. It started out as a hobby, and now it's slightly more than that. I really enjoy making these videos. It's just that I don't usually make a video like this where I'm talking about what I'm thinking, how I feel. I feel entirely embarrassed by everything I'm watching. As a human being, it's embarrassing seeing all this trash come out with what you think the world should be like. I know you're. I know I'm going to probably get comments saying it's not what we don't want to change the world, blah blah blah. But you do. You want to change everyone's opinions. You want to make straight people not straight anymore. That's what you want. You want everyone to be like you, because you have this dream of a utopian society, and through entertainment you can promote this utopian society. But let me tell you this: a utopian society is impossible to achieve. Do you know why? Individualism. Everyone has their own mind. Everyone has their own free will. And everyone has their own opinions on everything. So the idea of this utopian society that this is what I feel. I think that you, as representatives of this LGBTQ community, that's what you want. You want this utopian society where everyone thinks the same and no one no one gets their feelings hurt. I've got news for you. Wake up. The world is not this utopian thing. It never will be. It's impossible to achieve. I mean, one day maybe with mental programming, right? But we're talking about changing people's minds by forcing opinions into their heads, and you're not going to do it. You're forcing narratives into people's heads. You're not. It's not going to work. We are all individuals. Individuality makes humans unique. Animals are different. Animals don't have to be individuals. Many animals, they run around in herds, and they think as a group. But as humans, with our intelligence, utopian society is impossible to achieve. Right? There are other things that we should be considering about the world we're in. You also like to talk about global warming, don't you? But you don't realise that global warming is a natural process. I mean, how many emissions do we generate compared to a volcanic eruption? One volcanic eruption can produce enough CO2 and toxic gases to outweigh years worth of man-produced, man-made emissions. So it's different. It's different for that way of thinking. You guys think you're in this utopian society, like I said, and I mean, how can you achieve this singular mind, or this singular way of thinking along a large group? And I know one way of how that can happen. Poorly educated. Well, I know multiple reasons that happens actually. Poor education. I'm not well educated, but I know what I'm talking about. 2, yeah, sexuality. You believe you're this. That's fair. That's fine. You're entitled to your own belief. We have no problem with that. When you also can take into effect that you've probably never worked a day in your life. I've had some tough jobs in my life. I have tough jobs that have actually had a toll on my body. Right? I can't hold a power tool for very long because I used so many power tools for work that my hands actually cramp up and hurt. So I can't do that kind of work anymore. I've done a lot of walking around, standing up, and I can't walk a long distance because my ankles are shot because of how much walking I used to do. So, I mean, you have to take into account that your life is not the same as everyone else's. I've had a tough life, yes, but I had an easier life than some other people. But I mean, how hard's your life been to be able to force us to watch this crap, to talk about this crap, to give us this message, which is absolutely ridiculous. Uh, I think I might have to do some of these videos more often. This isn't a rant video. I was expecting to end up in a rant, but I need to just lift my chair up. A lot of people are probably going to take this video a different way to its intention. This is an intention. The intention of this video is to give you an insight into my mind, my way of thinking, my opinions, my thoughts, as well as what I thought of Doctor Who. The fact that I can't watch it, that says a lot. Because if it's a really good movie or show, I'll watch it over and over and over again. I've just finished rewatching House of the Dragon season 1 to prepare for House of the Dragon season 2. I can't do that with Rings of Power, which is interesting, because the difference between the two, as far as I feel that the DEI, or the representation in both shows, that's House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, are equal. There's about the same representation. In fact, there's probably more representation in House of the Dragon than there was in Rings of Power. But at the same time, Rings of Power season 1 was poorly written, and it was a poorly conceived story. But House of the Dragon, now that is very well written, right? And it has a very, very good story. It's a story we know of because we heard about it. It's mentioned kind of in Game of Thrones. There's kind of references to this era in Game of Thrones, which is another one that had representation. But that was an outstanding show up until 7 and 8. 7 and 8 kind of just sped up. They sped up because they wanted to do a Star Wars movie, or series, but they ended up getting turned down because of how bad the last 2 seasons were and how poorly received they were. But yeah, I don't know what to call. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video. It's just a weird one. But yeah, I was gonna post this later on because it was supposed to be Doctor Who, but I think I'll just post this randomly during the day. It's a long video. I don't know how long it's going to be. Might be quite a long video. But guys, if you've stuck with me for this long, then please do take a look at the store up here. The merchandise, it's really good merchandise. I'm sorry about the prices because I can't really do a lot. I can't do anything really with the prices. I've got it set to around about the minimum, as well as for the other ones. There's not a lot I can do about the prices. Also, check out the tipping page. If you feel like I deserve a tip, then you're welcome to give me a tip. It can be anything. I think it can even be like 50p or 50 cents. I mean, it doesn't have to be £1 or $1. So I'm not sure what the minimum is. Probably I think actually no, the minimum is probably £1 actually. To be honest, now that I think about it, £1 or $1. Please do so if you want to. But yeah. Do you guys think that Doctor Who should carry on, or do you think that it's completely dead? I mean, I'm getting a lot of people saying that it is absolutely dead. And yes, that's an acceptable assessment. It is dead to many people. The same as Star Wars is dead to many people, and Star Trek is dead to many people. So I mean, it's DEI is killing entire franchises that have been around longer than DEI. Go figure. And the computer games are next move, basically. So first they got into TV and entertainment, TV and movies, and now they're in computer games. specifically organisations like Sweet Baby Inc. and Gamer Black Game. Oh, I can't remember the name. Black Gamer Bitches or something like that. I can't remember. But there's a bunch of organisations out there that are getting their feet into major companies that are making entertainment. It's like this just everywhere. I mean, uh, it's absolutely everywhere. It's absolutely insane how huge an impact DEI is having on the world, considering it's mainly an entertainment. The fact that you can't walk down the street without someone assuming your pronoun, apparently. Uh, what's next for that anyway? When it comes to DEI, what's next? You attack if we call you a man or a woman and you're not, and if you identify as them they, then you attack us with words. Not necessarily maybe some of you physically attack people for assuming that, but I don't know. So what's next? Is it going to be Mr. and Miss and Mrs. that gets attacked by you guys with the DEI representation? What excuse are you going to use for replacing the titles of Mr. and Miss or Mrs. or Ms? What are you going to use to attack that? That'd be a good question. You know, if someone can give me your thoughts on that, comment down below and let me know. But I'm not going to be paying too much more attention on the comments because some people are saying some absolute ridiculous things, and they're taking the entire video out of context. So yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. What else? I don't think there's anything else to say today about this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please, if you did enjoy this, please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share it if you want to. Provide tip if you choose to. Links are in the description below. Go check out the merch at least, and if you fancy a t-shirt or a cup or something, or a mug, maybe just check it out. There's plenty there to choose from, should you choose. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I might do more of these because I've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this. But yeah, what else? Other than that, nothing. Except I hope you guys enjoy this. Stay safe. Take care. I hope you care about each other instead of attacking each other. But yeah, until next time, guys. May the Schwartz be with you always.